A week after meeting him, Michael Jackson telephones Jordan and Chandler as the two discuss their lives and hobbies. Jordan expressed an interest in playing video games. Michael then invited the boy into his hideout, an apartment he maintained in Century City, most of which of Michael's family and staff members had only heard about but had never actually seen. Michael explained that he had an arcade at the apartment and felt sure that Jordan would have fun there. Of course, Jordan wanted to go. However, when he asked his mother for permission, she denied it, citing becoming upcoming school tests for which the youngster needed to study. But in the weeks to come, Michael continued telephoning Jordan. The two became fast friends. On June 27th, 1992, Michael embarked on his dangerous concert extravaganza, the first of 39 performances on the first leg of the tour taking place in Munich, Germany at the Olympia Stadium. It was a complex production with expected bombastic special effects and lighting, dancers, musicians, and others involved in the fantastic multi-million dollar presentation. In all, Michael would perform 18 numbers, including hits such as one based on Something, Thriller, Billie Jean, and Beat It, and four from the current Dangerous album. At the end of the show, in front of nearly 75,000 people, Michael appeared to strap on a jet and rocket right out of the stadium. Actually, a stunt double did the trick, which was orchestrated by illusionist David Copperfield. Even without John Breaker at the helm, Michael was making winning decisions. He sold the rights of his Dangerous tour to HBO for $20 million, the highest sum ever paid for a live concert. When the network broadcast the final show of the first leg of Michael's tour, HBO gained its highest rating up until that time, which would later become this. Live in Bucharest, 1992. Because Michael was involved in every aspect of the show, from sound to lighting to costumes, all the way down to ticket sales, it demanded all of his focus. Now he managed to even give Jordan Chandler a second thought during this time of his remarkable. Yet, he did just that. For the next 9 months while on the road, Michael telephoned his new friend on a weekly basis. For Michael, it was as if Jordan had become his lifeline to the real world, to his home, as if Jordan had become his lifeline. Oh, as he performed in front of hundreds of thousands of adoring strangers. In fact, Michael also had 11-year-old Brett Barnes with him from Australia, as well as 9-year-old Prince Albert von Thurn on Texas, son of Gloria von Thurn on Texas of Bavaria, and already one of the richest kids in the world. His staff was used to having to accommodate children while on the road with Michael. No one ever questioned it. However, even though he had other youngsters with him, Michael's thoughts were of Jordan. According to what Jordan later recalled of his late night, long distance conversations with him, Michael told him about Neverland. It's a place where boys have rights, Michael said, promising to take Jordan there as soon as the Dangerous tour was complete. Michael also told Jordan about his charity work. Now he had raised funds for needy children organizations around the world with his Heal the World Foundation and his plans for a World Congress of Children to bring together youngsters from 100 nations. Children, Michael explained, are the hope of the world. Sometimes, Michael said, he sent his staff members to a toy store in one of his pickup trucks. The employees fill the truck with toys until there is not a single inch left in the pickup bed and bring them to Neverland. Then, as they gather all around me, smiling and laughing, while Michael distributed toys to all the needy children, he promised to introduce Jordan to Elizabeth Taylor one day, telling him, "She's really old, but she's still cool. She's won like 15 Oscars." Taylor actually won two. When Michael returned home from the final stop on the tour's first leg, Japan, on December 31st, he found that Elizabeth Taylor had decked out Neverland for the Christmas holidays, with hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of elaborate decorations. Though Michael raised a Jehovah's Witness, never celebrated Christmas, he was still overwhelmed by Elizabeth's kind gesture. He called Jordan to tell him about it. You'll see it. You should see it, he said, the youngster recalled. It's like a winter wonderland. The only thing that will make it better will be having you there. Then it'll be absolutely perfect. Michael was too busy in January, however, to entertain any guests at Neverland. On his agenda when it was the NAACP Image Awards on January 16th, President Clinton's inaugural ball on the 19th, and then the American Music Awards on the 25th. Each performance requiring rehearsing days of rehearsal time. When he had the Super Bowl on the 31st, where he performed with a 770 750 member choir and a 98,000 person flashcard stunt to promote the Heal the World Foundation. At the end of the show, 3,500 children joined Michael on stage for Heal the World. 120 million people watched Michael's performance. On February 10th, 1993, Michael gave an internationally televised interview to Oprah Winfrey. During it, Michael and Oprah gave the world a nighttime tour of Neverland, and Michael even revealed for the first time he suffers from vitiligo. He also spoke of his girlfriend, Brooke Shields. When Oprah pushed to learn Michael was still a virgin, he clarified that he was a gentleman. He could call me old fashioned if you want. When asked about plastic surgery, he said he had very little. He could count it on two fingers. Elizabeth Taylor made a surprise appearance as if passing through to declare that Michael is the least weird man I have ever known. Michael later presented her with a $250,000 diamond necklace to thank her for the compliment. It was a terrific ratings winning broadcast, drawing an audience of more than 90 million, the fourth most watched entertainment show on US TV history. The next day, Michael called June Chandler to invite her, Jordan, and his half sister Lily to his estate for the next weekend. With Michael so much in the headlines as a result of the interview with Oprah, it must have seemed unreal to June that he had invited her and her family to the same place she had been displayed on television, even offering to put them up for the night. June accepted Michael's invitation. Julie and the children arrived at Neverland Ranch early on Friday afternoon. The servant who greeted them suggested that they be seated in the parlor and wait for Mr. Jackson as he scurried off to fetch soft drinks. June, Jordy, and Lily sat side by side on one of the couches and looked at their surroundings, their mouths agape. Simply put, they could not believe their eyes. Was it possible that they know a person who lived here? Through the 25-room Mark Tudor Mansion's living room was large scale and packed with opulent furnishings. There was also a sense of warmth and elegance about it, with pine paneled walls, fine Italian antiques, a little overdone, but of course, for Michael, excess is never enough, and big, overstuffed furniture, the kind of which one would sink 6 inches upon being seated. Here there are eccentric treasures, life-size mannequins of senior citizens and youngsters having tea, giant oil paintings of Elizabeth Taylor hanging on elaborate carved and glided frames. The white bugle beaten down Dana Ross wore in the final scene of Lady Sings the Blues encased in a large box, with pink lights glowing around it. There were pictures of children everywhere, both boys and girls. The house was perfectly still. Nothing stirred. It was quite a tomb. No music, not a sound. Outside, as far as the eye could see, there were more than 2,000 verdant acres of bucolic landscape, reminiscent of the English countryside. It was impossible to imagine that anyone owned this place. It was so expensive with its steep blue fir acre lakeway off in the distance. Statues paid homage to Scottish author J. M. Barrie and his creation Peter Pan. For more than 100 speakers disguised as rocks on the floor beds. Emitted Disney music, never Michael's own music, which he really listens. There was a zoo with a menagerie of alligators, giraffes, lions, a 12-foot albino python, and a 70,000-pound elephant named Gypsy, a present from Elizabeth Taylor. There was also Cricket, the 34-inch tall stallion, and Petunia, the potbelly pig, and Linus, the 2-foot tall sheep. Of course, Bubbles the chimpanzee also lived on the property, often seen in the cinema with Michael eating free candy from the sweets counter. Sometimes he takes off his diaper and goes on the floor, but mostly he's very clean. Michael had told Jordan. Of then, of course, there were the mini rides, the Ferris wheel, bumper cars, steam trains, and for the little ones, a carousel, fire trucks, and frog hoppers. Some might have found it disturbing that hundreds of security cameras were positioned all over the estate, hidden inside little birdhouses. However, Michael viewed it as a necessary precaution. If any one of the 30 full-time gardeners or tin ranch hands didn't smell enough or seemed otherwise unhappy, he would be dismissed. Another necessity. After all, it was supposed to be a happy place. So, do you like my home? It was Michael walking into the room, flashing a smell of genuine pride and satisfaction, and holding a tray with four soft drink bottles. I was going to put them in glasses instead of the refreshments, but I couldn't find any in the kitchen, you joke. I've been gone so long I was lucky to even find the kitchen. Here's funny, June later recalled, funnier than she imagined he would be. For the rest of the day, June, Jordan, and Lily played games, swam, zipped about the Masters, even $7,000 black and lavender golf court, and then watched first room films loaned to Michael by major Hollywood studios late into the evening in his private screening room. The next day, Michael took them all to the toy store an hour away, which had been closed by the managers for a few hours to allow the Jackson party private shopping time. You can have anything you want, Michael told Jordan and Lily. As Jim watched, the two children ran through the store, pulling more than $10,000 worth of toys from the shelves and piling up into three shopping carts. Saturday night was spent enjoying Michael's amusement park under a full and magical moon, first on the roller coaster and then the Ferris wheel. When the car carrying Michael, Jordan, June, and Lily got to the top of the Ferris wheel, the operator stopped the rotation just as Michael had earlier instructed. The four of them then sat high above the ground. June, Michael, and Jordan shoulder to shoulder, and Lily on her mother's lap. Surveying all that was on Michael's pride and joy. A slight breeze rustled the leaves of old trees. There seemed to be twinkling lights as far as the eye could see. I don't know where there were more lights, June said breathlessly, in the sky or on the ground. All four were lost in their own thoughts as they sat in silence, the moon bathing them in silvery radiance. However, Michael looked glum in the dim light. Do you know how much time I've spent up here alone? Michael said softly. Just sitting up here by myself. I have all of this, he declared, motioning the acres below. Yet I have nothing. The things I really want in my life are the things I don't have. You have us now, Jordan said, putting his arm around Michael's shoulder. Michael smiled. My new little family, he concluded. The only thing that matters in life is having someone who understands you, who trusts you, and who will be with you when you grow old, no matter what. On Saturday morning, June, Jordan, and Lily depart for Los Angeles after their unforgettable weekend. Another visit was planned. The following Saturday night, Michael showed up at June's home in a limousine ready to whisk her back to Neverland. However, when June, Jordan, and Lily got into the stretched automobile and greeted Michael, they discovered another boy sitting in the singer's lap. 11-year-old Brett Barnes, whom Michael introduced as his little cousin. They never late, even though the youngster did introduce himself as Brett Jackson. Apparently, Jordan would not be the sole focus of Michael's attention during the weekend ahead. As Joan tried to keep the conversation going, Brett and Michael appeared to be in their own world with an easy wrapper between them. One that made what Michael had with Jordan seem perhaps not so unique. It was a tense drive to Santa Barbara. When Michael and his guests finally arrived at Neverland, they were immediately surrounded by uniformed guards, maids, butlers, and other functionaries, all gathering and grinning to one another exactly. Michael nodded and smiled and shook hands. He then instructed two of the guards to take June's suitcases to one of the guest cottages. Oh, and Brett's belongings go in my room, he added nonchalantly as Bert went off with one of the maids. Michael then embraced and kissed his remaining guests. You have Neverland at your disposal, he told June, so have a ball. I love you all. He said with genuine warmth. And just wait, he added, tomorrow will be another great day.